I started using this Anchor app probably about 3 months ago doing my podcast, and so far I've had a outstanding, wonderful experience using this. I encourage more people to do podcasts. A podcast could be anything. It could be about life, some of your daily routine, your stuff that stuff that you do every day in life. So, if you got something to get off your chest, or you got stuff on your mind, you want to document it, podcast is going. That's the way to go. So, please use it, and please try podcasting. Hello.
Here, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Okay. You got it. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Shantae. Everybody, this is Shantae. Well, it's just me and you. I'm just saying like it's everybody listening. Welcome to our Strange Disappearances series. And today, Shantae will be discussing your sisters, Dannette and Jeannette, who went missing from Augusta, Georgia, March 18th, 1990. Now, I went over a lot of the stuff. I did a lot of research before you know, before we decided to do this. What can you tell us what happened from that day?
So you want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, man, you can. I mean, I tell you what. I tell you, we'll go this. Where do you think? Where do you want to start?
Um, I started at the beginning, the day that they went missing. I mean, it was like a normal day, pretty
Okay.
much. Um, we went to church that morning. David, can you be quiet? I'm recording something.
It's okay. It's okay because guess what? I got kids too, so it's okay. I understand.
So, when we went to church that morning, everything was, fine. Um, we left church. I said, I give or take, it was around like between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, something like that. And
Okay.
before before we left church, the pastor of the church had gave my mom some money to eat lunch for that day. So when we got home, they she sent my sister and them to Church's Chicken. It's like pretty much I give or take about 3 miles from where we stayed at.
Okay.
They came back home. When they got back home, Jeanette came in the house and told my mama that a man in a white van was following them.
Okay.
So of course my mom went to the door, to look to see, but we didn't see no white van. So we proceeded on with our day. We ate lunch. As we was eating lunch, we was talking about going to school. That next day because it was on a Sunday.
Okay.
So anyway, my mom, like I said, the pastor had to give her money, to for us to eat lunch that day. So she didn't have money for them to catch the bus back and forth to school because it wasn't a school bus that would come pick them up because the area where they was going to school at was where we used to live.
Okay.
So the school that they would have been attending would have been T.W. Joseph, but they was going to Lucelana High School.
Okay.
So in order for them to get over there, my mom was going to let them walk to school, every day. So she asked them to ask my God that get them money so they can catch the bus back and forth to school. They would have had to catch the Augusta Transit. So they called him on the phone. He agreed to give them some money. My mom sent them to go get the money. It had started getting late because they had returned home, you know. And I say around about four-ish, my mom had started, getting worried or whatever because, like I said, it was getting later because they had
Right.
already left the house. They probably left the house, I give or take around about two something.
Okay. So they're going 2 hours.
Right. So upon my mom, she started getting worried. So she started calling, to see had they made it to his house. And they did make it there. Okay, after that is where things went crazy because they left his house, and we later found out they started going to other people's houses trying to get them to walk home with them.
Oh, okay.
The
So,
first,
okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, the first stop was my cousin. Her
Okay,
name was Anita Bryant. They stopped at her house. After they stopped at her house, because her mom wouldn't let her go with them, they went to my sister's house. This is my older sister. She wasn't staying, in the household with us no more. She just had a baby. So when they went to her house, she told them, she wasn't up to walking with them. So, like I said, me and my mom went. We had left the house walking, looking for them. And on the phone call that my mom and my sister had, she told my mom that they had left her house walking like they was going towards the pump and shop store.
okay,
By us used to stay by that store, we already knew the people that worked there. And particular day, the clerk that was working, her name was Gloria. We went in the store, me and my mom, and asked her, had she seen them, and she told us they did come in there. She told us what they brought, but she said she couldn't tell us what way they went because, after speaking with them, she had to bring up another customer. They left out the store, but she don't know what direction they went in.
right.
She don't know if they got in the car with somebody or they went left or right or forward or whatever the case may be. But pretty much that was it. Nobody seen them no more after that.
And so, like, so it's kind of like they just vanished, basically.
Yeah, basically that's what it seemed like. I just don't understand it, but
Now,
that,
you said the store clerk was left on the seat though.
yeah, to
I,
our knowledge, she was the last person that seen them because, truth be told, the investigator that had took the case was pretty much not doing no investigation because when we get left and went home, okay, after we left the store, you
mm-hmm.
know, we made it back home. But before we got home, we were still looking in the area where they would have been walking to get back home. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? We looking in abandoned houses, we looking in, bushes or whatever, because we didn't know, what could have happened to them. You know what I'm saying? But we made it back home. My mom did what she was supposed to do as a mother. She called the police, but they told her that she had to wait 24 hours to report them missing.
Wow. And yeah, I know. I can understand. Back then, it probably was pretty frustrating for your mom. Trying to report them missing, and they getting this runaround, and 24
Right,
hours. 24 hours. Come on now, and they.
right. That's the same thing. I mean, back then, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't cameras, you know, and pretty much you was relying on the police to help you, but pretty much they wasn't helping her. Okay, she did what she supposed to did. She called them. They say wait 24 hours. Okay, they still hadn't got back home that next day. Okay, she called them again. The police officer out. When they sent the officer out, he ended up getting all the information incorrect. The spelling of their name. He got their birthdays wrong. He got the social security numbers wrong. Uh, the address of the area which was my goddad stayed at. They
Mm-hmm.
they got that address wrong. They put the wrong street instead of the street that he stayed on. They put a whole different another street. So, okay, after they took all the information, what they was wearing and they appearance, what they looked like and all that stuff. She gave them the picture, all that. They end up putting my sister and them on the news one time since they had been missing.
One time, that's it.
That's it.
Wow. Now, that's a lot.
Okay. After that, the next week is when they sent out. When the
Okay.
investigator, his name is Investigator Ship. When he came out to talk to my mom, he ended up getting the information all over again. You know what they was wearing and stuff like that. And then after that, I guess he was supposed to been doing his investigation, and we later found out that nobody that came in contact with my sister and them the day they went missing.
So he basically didn't do anything. Wow.
No, he didn't talk to the store clerk. He didn't talk to my cousin. He didn't talk to my older sister. She's done passed away. You know, she passed away in 2018 on the twins' birthday.
Wow. Oh my. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So after that, on the investigation he pretty much did was went to the school that they was supposed to been going to. You know, he went to Lucy Lane High School.
Okay.
The students there. Okay. He said some of the students told him that they had seen my sister and them on the corner of Lane Walker and 12th Street. And when they called the principal of the school, supposedly seen them and some of the students. But when the principal saw them, he said that the principal said that he called out to my sister and them and they took off running. We don't know if that's true or not because the principal of the school has passed away. So we never did get to talk to him about the situation. You know what I'm saying? We later found that out when they opened the case back up 20 something years later.
So you mean to tell me, so after when they first investigated it, and all these errors were made, and then no, okay, now another thing too. Why were they taking off the missing registry? That's one of the biggest questions that I had.
Okay. I can't even answer that for you because we still been trying to figure that out ourselves. We don't know
And
why, but from our understanding, they just did a documentary on them, I think it was in 2019.
yeah,
The
it was a vet there.
investigator that was over the case, we just found out he was the one that told them to take my sister and them out of the system. He said
Wow.
he said because his words, quote unquote, because they was never should have been put in there because they was unruly runaways.
I saw the documentary. They definitely didn't run away.
Correct.
They definitely didn't run away at all. But so it took 20.
But that's what they labeled them as. Okay.
Okay.
1990. This happened in 1990, March the 18th, 1990, when they went missing.
Okay.
Push forward, 1991, my sister and them turned 17 years old. Remind you, they went missing 2 weeks before their 16th birthday. So in 91, they turned 17 April the 2nd.
Okay.
April 6 days after they turned 17, the same investigator came to my mom and told my mom that he was closing my sister and them case out because they had turned 17 years old, and if he did them, he couldn't make them come back home.
So it's just 2 years. It's almost 2 years after he tells you this.
It wasn't 2 years.
Well, not okay. It wasn't 2 years. Okay, because he said two. It was a year. Yeah. Okay. Right. You're right. Okay.
Okay. See, when they went missing, they were still 15.
Right. 2 weeks before their birthday.
Yeah. They didn't turn 16 until April the 2nd of that same year they went missing.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
1991, they turned 17.
Okay. I
So
got you.
it was like a year after they went missing that they closed the case out. They closed it out on April the 8th. Okay. In 1993, the same investigator, I guess he was getting ready to go. He got promoted to doing what the thing, training the police officers or whatever. He
Oh,
went to he had to train the new recruits or whatever. Okay. But before he could do that, they told him he had to get rid of all his cases. So I'm assuming that's why he gave my sister them case file to a juvenile probation officer. Once he gave him the case file, he called National Missing and Explored Children and told them to take my sister them out of the database. So
Oh.
we finds out when he gave the case, the juvenile probation officer, he tells us, and he told the podcast people of the fall line when they talked to him, in 2017, he said that the probation officer told him that my sister name, he knew where my sister name was at, and that they was trying to get to Texas. But the same probation officer been in contact with my mom because he stayed in the same area we stayed in, for one, and for two, my older sister had got in some trouble, and he already knew my mom or whatever, and he told my mom that he didn't understand how two people can go missing and nobody hear nothing from them again, that he was gonna help her. So he was on the verge of trying to help her, but he ended up passing away.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was about the only one, him and another officer that was working at Richmond County. They were the only two people, since they had closed my sister and them case out, that said they was going to try to help my mom find out what happened to my sister and them. And both of them passed away before they can do so. So my sister and them case went cold for 20-something years before they reopened it.
That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. 20 years, I could not imagine. And now we're in 2022.
Right.
I was just
It's
watching,
32 years.
yeah, 30 years. I was just watching the documentary, and the one where they interviewed the store clerk on the phone.
Right.
I I kind of didn't like some of her answers. They were kind of shaky to me.
You talking about the gentleman that's in prison?
No, the one where they talked to her on the phone, and she said she didn't like getting in the folks' business. The store clerk, the one that you said you knew, Gloria, or her name, what's her name?
Oh yeah, Miss Gloria, yeah. Cause she
Yeah.
was, you know, I talked to her on the outside of doing that. She didn't want to do it because she just, she talked to them on the outside, but she didn't want to be recorded, basically is what it was.
Oh, okay.
So she didn't want to be filmed.
Right, yeah. I don't
That's
know.
what it was, but she talked to them beforehand, before they
Okay,
even did it, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
she had already talked to me, you know what I'm saying? She was like, she don't like doing that, but she will talk to them. That's why she just talked to them on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when they went missing, were there any rumors as to what happened to them? Did any rumors start circulating what happened to them?
Yeah, it was a lot of first they said that my sister and them ran away from home because one of them had got pregnant. Then another rumor was that my sister and them ran away from home because my mom had too many kids. Uh, what else? Yeah,
Now,
pretty much that was it.
and then I seen another one about their dad.
Now that right there,
Yes.
we still don't know what he knew. But
Now,
all thing I can tell you is this is not a rumor. This is the truth.
okay.
To help locate them. He didn't want no involvement in it. He even went so far as to telling my older sister, because my sister and the twins share a dad.
Okay.
So he told her if the cops came around or anybody came around questioning her about where his location was, to tell them that he was dead, which he was very much alive. My mom communicated that with Richmond County Sheriff's Department, told them what was going on, and pretty much they never communicated with him. They never talked to him. And I know for myself, okay, they opened the case back up in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
When 2013 came, they sought Richmond County did set an investigator over the case. Her name was Ashley Pletcher. She was doing amazing job that I thought, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, out the blue, they takes her off the case. They didn't tell us. They didn't warn us. They didn't call us. They never contacted us. This whole entire time that my sister and them been missing, even to today, they never contact us. We would have to reach out to them.
Mm. That's
They
wild.
and she was about the only one since the case had been closed out, and the other two officers, she was pretty much dedicated to trying to help locate them. And I still don't know to this day why they took her off the case, but they never did set another investigator over it until 2017. And when they did that, he did try to help, you know what I'm saying? But it's like anybody that tried to help, they pulled him away from it. And then
Right.
it's just like they're not doing anything. The only help that we pretty much got so far is from people that's outside of Augusta.
And that's usually how it is too. Cause I saw the case myself, and I'm like, I want to help. Cause I work with a couple other people that too that we research and we try to find missing people too. And we were reading the story like, wow, 'cause I was blown away. I was blown away by the story, like period. Because people just don't vanish and don't vanish out of nowhere.
Yeah, and now it was so many people that had heard about the story, they ended up um paying this organization. I think it's out in Texas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They reached out to this private investigator, and now
Okay.
he's trying to work with a 32-year case. You know what I'm saying? He's been working on it. It's been about a year now so
Okay.
far that he's had the case in his hand. But we've been working with him and trying to bear with it. But I still think that Richmond County should be trying to do more than what they've been doing in this case. I know we don't have so many murders down here to it's a shame. But also they should at least have one dedicated person that wants to old cases, you know what I'm saying, cold cases. And this is the 32-year one that somebody should say, hey, let me try to help this family locate these girls or something. But it
Right.
took people on the outside of the town that we live in to try to do something. That's the only way. That's the only reason why we got the I done been on so many different podcasts, some talk shows,
Mm-hmm.
um, and this the only reason why we got this far. The truth be told, because of the fall line people, their name are Laura Norton and Brooke Hargrove. When I
Yeah,
met
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I sure did. I saw that.
when
Yeah,
I
I
met
looked
them,
at it.
when I met them, they did so much investigation in a short period of time that they knew about my sister and them case.
Mm-hmm.
So much that Richmond County didn't even do, and it had been what when they got it. It had been like 20 something years, 25,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, it had been 25 years when they found out about it. And so far it's 25. So in the last 6, 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
they done did so much to bring awareness to my sister and them story. That's why a lot of people know about them. Because for 20 something years, nobody knew my sister and them were missing.
Yeah, because I just came across it this year.
No, when I say nobody,
Yeah.
nobody, that means 20 something years, anything could have went wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything could what if they were still out there somewhere or somebody had them 20 something years, people probably walking past them every day and didn't even know that they was missing because
Exactly.
nobody knew.
Nobody said anything.
No, nobody said nothing.
I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had the funding and I didn't have to work every day, I would be out in Augusta, working on this case, trying to get this case. I honestly think the case is still solvable. Now
Yeah,
I don't know if they're still alive, but I really think that one day they'll find out what happened, to your sisters because like there's always somebody watching somewhere. I mean, there's never no something as nobody's not watching. There's
Yeah. I
somebody watching
said the
somewhere.
same thing, you know what I'm saying? That they done found different bones, we just found out, okay, in 96.
Yeah, I
No.
saw that.
In 93, I just found out they just took in last year. I just found out last year that they said they finally did the DNA on it, on the bones or whatever that they had. That's my sister, but they only
yeah.
did it on the wrong sister. They didn't do it on Jeanette. They did the analysis on Dannette.
Oh,
But
so
I
they
guess
do
by
it.
them being
Okay.
twins, I don't know how
Yeah.
that works. By them being twins, it ruled it out exactly that it was neither one of them. I'm not sure, but the image didn't look like Dannette. It looked like Jeanette to me.
You know what? And somebody else brought it up to me today. They were like, "This is like her." And then I saw where it was. But then when I saw where it was ruled out, it was only ruled out as who? I think it was ruled out as who was it ruled out as Dannette or Jeanette?
It was ruled out.
Okay, yeah. I didn't see it ruled out as Jeanette on there. Yeah, they usually say twins share uh, the same everything. So I guess that's how they did that. But I don't know. Maybe they should still, do. They
I
still.
don't know, but a long time I kept calling down there, trying to get them to, figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Because I kept telling them, it do, resemble her. You know, and for a very, very long time, we never got nowhere with it. Richmond County wouldn't do nothing. And then when, like I said, when I got in contact with Brooke and Laura, they ended up getting in contact. And when they got in contact with Aiken said, had Richmond County been told them that my sister name was missing, they would have been did a DNA, comparison to the bones with them. But they
Right.
didn't know that my sister name was missing. They didn't know until 2017, like I said. So my sister name had been out here all that time.
And
And
nobody
none of
knows.
the other agencies knew. Yeah, none of the other agencies knew that these girls was missing because they didn't. That's why we didn't get no help. My mom contacted John Walsh. I had wrote Oprah Winfrey, Montel Williams, Ricky Lake. I had contacted so many people back in the day. We got turned down because they said the police department in your hometown would have had to get them involved. And right now it's saying that my sister and them are not missing.
Mm. But that I know it's been hard on your mom. I'm not even gonna ask if it has. I know.
Very, very hard. You know what I'm saying? Now she done lost her oldest daughter and she lost her on their birthday. We thought, what I'm saying, you never question God, but I said, Mom, I don't know. It could be a sign, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but it happened. It was crazy that day that she I got up and I was thinking about them, you know what I'm saying, about the twins. And I was like, hey, let me, it was their birthday. I said, well, let me just do something for my mama to celebrate their birthday. And that's what I was going. And then I was getting ready to take my daughter to the doctor. And my mom called me and was like, with the hospital people called and said they want to talk to us about my sister. Her name was Asiana. That's my older sister.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and yeah, they called us and said they wanted to talk to us. We get there, we thinking we going there to see her. When we got there, that's what they told us, that she had passed away. She
Oh
passed away at 9.
wow.
Yeah, she passed away at 9 something that morning.
Did that weigh on her a lot too as she was growing up?
Yeah, it
How
weighed
was
on
her?
everybody. It weighed on
Okay.
all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because we just can't figure it out. And then for people to keep saying that they ran away. I don't care if you're 15. Okay, if this is me, this is my theory, my opinion. If I'm 15 years old, I run away from home. I ain't got but $20 in my hand. $2 that I was given to buy me some snacks. So pretty much he gave her $2, my other sister $2, plus the $20 they were supposed to take going back and forth to school. They ain't had but $24.
What are they
Where
gonna
am
do
I?
there? Nowhere.
How am I gonna live off of $24 for all these years?
You know, it's also a race thing too. They're quick to label
Exactly.
Afro Americans as runaway. They're quick to
And
do that.
that's why I was thinking to myself, I had them caught down there all those years. And when we finally get a black sheriff, I said, Shante, okay, I'm looking at him on TV, listening at what he's saying. He said he want to help the community, he want to help the people. Boom. I said, well, hey, let me call down here again. I called down there. I didn't get anybody on the phone. I left a message. He didn't call me back. It was a guy by the name of Scott Peebles that called me back. He was his running mate.
Okay.
The sheriff's running mate. He called me and said that he looked up the case and he said he was opening the case back up because he didn't like how the case was closed off of hearsay.
Right.
So when the sheriff, Richard Roundtree, ended up getting it, he said that he wanted to correct the wrong that my family had a terrible injustice done to them. He wanted to correct the wrong, and he was treating my sister and them case as if it was his own family. Okay, and now he don't want to talk to nobody about my sister and them. He's not communicating. He said he don't want to have anything to do when it comes down to the Milbrook twins. Why? But I done got this from several the news media people that wants to talk to him about my sister and them. He said no communication. He don't want to
And
talk about
also, I heard that they have an event down there that draws a lot of people and money. What is that event called? Because I was reading that they also didn't want that your sister's
yeah,
disappearance. Oh,
they were supposed to match my sister and them reward thing. We got a reward. They had some kind of program where the sheriff's department has something if a family has over they have to gain their own money pretty much. You have to
okay.
gain the money that you gain. They supposed to match it. When it come down to them matching ours, they said no.
Mm.
All the money that has been raised from other people that done heard about the story, and people they did a GoFundMe so that they can get the billboard that we have up down here now, and for the reward. So now it started out as an $8,000 reward. Now this is $11,000 reward out for any information.
Now, do they have a link to that? Because I would love to post it on my page because I think I
It
think
is. If anybody want to look for it, it'll be on the Fall Line Podcast. They have a Facebook page, and it's up under there.
okay, I to my page because I think the more and more the reward goes up, it also try to get people talking to.
Yeah, I was thinking, I said the same thing because I was like, dog, I know, dollars ain't much, but it's something for somebody to say something, but nobody's saying anything.
Nah,
It's like,
I tell you, it would have, and I even thought about myself. I thought honestly, $11,000 can be spent in a day or so. It is some money, but you know how people are. I think like
right.
the more it goes up, it'll be more. Oh no, and yeah, and no, and when I was trying to find what I was talking about. It's an event down there in Augusta that they have every year. Is it a tournament or something?
Talking about the Masters.
Is that it? Is that the one that? Yeah, they said that they didn't want to bring too much attention to the Masters too. Like I read something I read
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, they did say that, but the truth be told, they went missing around the Masters time in 1990.
Oh wow! So
Masters the Masters people was coming in around that time when my They have the Masters tournament around April. People start coming in around 2 weeks or a week ahead of time when before the event start, because they be trying to get the hotels and the houses that they be renting out or whatever. But yeah, it was around Masters time when my sister went.
Wow. So another question: your older sister, how was her relationship with her dad after the twins went missing?
I mean, she still communicated when he communicated with my mom.
So he didn't say anything?
She was about the only person that he would talk to. You get what I'm saying? But when it came down to when my mom would question him about the twins, he wouldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was telling her, leave them girls alone. Stop calling the police, trying to go out here look for them girls. Them girls probably out here with some man or whatever the case may be. But when 2017 came, like I said, the fall line people, when I got in contact, they was trying to do their best they could to try to help us. And that was one of the things that they wanted to do was to talk to him. Okay. It's a crazy story, but okay, one of the gentlemen that they wrote, my sister got involved with these guys. They had ended up killing two guys, right?
Okay.
My sister and them dad helped them hide one of the people's body. He went to jail. They went to prison. He ended up getting out. One of the guys' mother was my sister and them dad's caretaker, right?
Okay.
Okay. She wasn't doing what and she ended up going to jail. He ended up going to the hospital because for a long time, I talked to him throughout the years. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Once the news, me and my mom and one of the podcast ladies went up there to go see him, to talk to him. We went to go talk to him. The first question, she eased her way into talking to him by having his niece up there, which is his sister's daughter. They're talking to him, and then that was giving her comfort. The podcast, Miss Brooke, they gave her comfort to, to wing her way in to talk to him to see if he would tell her anything. So she started asking him questions about the twins, and the first thing came out of his mouth that they was dead.
Wow.
Okay, boom. Hold up, wait a minute. I said, well, did he just say they were dead? So she questioned him again. She started asking him, where would they be buried at? Are they buried in the country? Would they be buried in the city? Where's their bodies, John? That was his name.
Okay.
Then he started acting weird, right? When it came, after she started questioning him about it, he started acting weird. Like, say for instance, if I'm talking to you about you can talk, right? You can't talk. You can't, you acting like you out of your mind. You can't comprehend what I'm saying to you. But if I'm talking to you about what you want to eat tomorrow or something else, you can come out right out and say it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so he answered certain questions.
Right. Okay. So boom, she told the investigator them that the investigator who I think his name was Investigator Gordon. She called him and told him what was going on and what was said. They said that it wouldn't be reliable because we were supposed. I guess it would have wouldn't have been good because it was against the law to record somebody because the doctors did come in and was like, "Oh, y'all can't do that." Da da da. So she ended up not recording them. I don't know if she ever gave it to Investigator Gordon them, but we did. She did talk to him about what was said, but they said it wasn't reliable of what he said.
Wow.
But
So let me ask you this question. So honestly, and deep down, does your mom think that their dad has something to do with their disappearance?
at first she's did.
Okay.
And then when all this other stuff started coming about, and then what he said when he was in the hospital, then it brought memory to her, that's probably the reason why he didn't want us to go out here and look for them, because maybe he did have something to do with it. But it's just an iffy thing. She don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She just don't know what happened to him. She don't want to place the blame on him, and if to do with it, but it looked very suspicious that you didn't want to go help look for him.
And you said something. You said something happened in the hospital. What did he say in the hospital?
That's when we questioned him about it. He said that they was, and then he started saying, after we questioned him more and more about it, then he told Brooke, which Brooke Hargrove told her to ask my mama where the girls was at, because my mama know where they at.
Okay.
But my mama don't know where they at, because if she had known where they was at, she wouldn't still be looking for them today.
Right, because I've seen the map on the area on the podcast where they went, and to come out of this store, and they probably ducked around the corner or something, but I don't think they were kidnapped. That's one thing I don't think. I don't think that happened. That's one thing. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't. I just think of how it's just crazy how they just disappeared. I almost got this feeling like it's local, like it's somebody in the neighborhood that knows them.
I don't know. I know they, if they're, I just pretty much like this. If they were still in Augusta, Georgia, I know a lot of people.
Right.
I know a lot of people. I don't went to school with people. I don't work with people. I was at my job, even getting people to help me try to, do anything that I can to try to locate them.
Right.
Nobody's had. You put their names in the system. Their names don't come up in nothing, but it comes on the DNA thing that they now, but before that, nothing would come up with their names. Nothing, even put their social security number, their birthdays, nothing would come up with their names. You know how you go to the hospital, if you got to go to the hospital, you get hurt or something like that, or if you go to jail, or you try to get welfare, or you try to get something, nothing comes up with their names. I was even told one time that my sister and them got taken away from my mama. Now, mind you, my mom got other kids. Now, this is the police department that told me this. My mom kids got taken away from her. I said, that's not true. That man told me he don't appreciate me saying his officers are liars.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying they're liars. I said I just know for a fact my mom kids ain't get taken away, because why would they take two out of the home and leave the other kids behind? Kids was being harmed or mistreated.
Right.
They told me to call to defects. I did it. I called defects or whatever. Won't give you no information that said if they did have them, that they would have been adopted out by now.
You're
but
right.
Who, 15-year-old girl?
That's true. You're right about that. So let me ask you a question.
They told me to call the adoption agency. I called the adoption agency that was in Atlanta, Georgia. I called them. They told me that they couldn't give me no information on the phone, but they would send me a package. I would have to fill that package out and send it back to them. They sent the package, but I never filled it out because I already knew deep down in my heart that it was been a waste of time, because I know my mom kids never got taken away from her. Right. So I don't even know where that theory came from or why they saying it or whatever. But that was another thing that was said, that my sister and them had got taken away from my mom.
Well, a lot of times people try to throw wrenches in the investigation to throw it off. That happens a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what they was doing.
They'll be like, okay, we saw the person, or they ran off.
And I just feel like they didn't do enough. They didn't do what other people kids had been missing. going missing. I remember this guy I went to school with, he went missing. His name was Bubba. They put him all over the news. They kept putting his pictures on the news. They was looking for him. He was a white guy. He was my friend in school. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up finding him, but he was deceased. He had drowned in the Savannah River
Okay.
a long time ago, but they looked for him.
Right. So do
They
you
didn't
think
look for my sister now.
you're right? They didn't. So do you think this is a cover? So you think there's a cover up somewhere?
I'm not sure that it feels like it to me. Because
Yeah.
why y'all don't want to go look for him? Why y'all ain't did y'all best to try to look for him? Why every time one of y'all officers, y'all set the officer over the case, y'all end up pulling them away from it?
Because they're probably getting close to solving it. And you know what's crazy? I think that when all the information does come out, it's gonna make them look stupid.
And I'm thinking that's another reason why they did what they did. They doing what they doing now. If they don't want to talk about it, I think they already feel stupid because
Yeah,
they
you're right.
look at all these years done went by. Y'all could have been solved it if y'all had kept the case open.
I think they could
Y'all
have solved.
closed it.
I think they could have solved this within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Had this been investigated back then, this could have been solved ASAP. Now,
exactly.
did they ever use dogs anywhere?
No, they never did. They
Did
ain't
they?
never do. They ain't do none of that.
So are those houses that were back then? Are they still standing, or you don't know?
Some of them are. Some of them just they ran down. Some
Right.
of them, like my goddad house, they done tore the house down. The old house that we stayed in, they done tore it down. Um, the other house, okay, we stayed in two houses that was on 12th Street. They
Okay.
done tore both of those houses down.
Okay.
It's another house that's by the store. What seen that it just
Mm-hmm.
recently burnt down. And I'm tell you the craziest thing that happened when my sister named documentary got ready to air. Before that documentary aired, one of their investigator officers got killed at that same store.
Wow. Hey, I know what to ask. This white van, the white van that when you told me from the beginning that your sister said they was following. Did they know who the white van was?
No, we still don't know. That's what I'm saying. When she came in there and told my mom, I remember it just like it was yesterday because I was 12 years old. I was no little bitty child that I can't remember nothing.
Right.
I
Right.
got a good memory. We didn't see a white van when they came home. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Right.
So we didn't think nothing of it. And like I was saying to myself, what I'm saying, and my mom was saying, what I'm saying, maybe the van wasn't following them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And we'll never know because we don't know where they at. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
Right.
they
Right.
made it back home after they said the white van was following them. They made it home. They
Right.
got home. They wasn't saying, "Oh no, mama, I don't want to go out here and go get this money to go to school." We was talking about going to school. My sister and them loved the school. They was good girls. They made AB honor roll. I mean, they pretty much they was active in the middle, what they call it, the junior ROTC.
Oh, OTC.
Yeah, she was in there. You know what I'm saying? They was pretty much at the girls. They just didn't go nowhere. That's
Okay.
why it's hard for me to believe that they just up and said, "Oh, I ain't coming back no more."
No.
I say them
Now,
girls stayed home. They stayed home. They didn't go out. Like, you know what I'm
now,
saying? Like kids do today, like go out and be hanging out all night and stuff. Like they didn't do that. If
right.
we went somewhere, we went somewhere together.
Okay.
Somewhere together. The skating range, to the movies, stuff like that. Either my mom would be with us, or it would be an adult with us when we went. We got there, we go. When them girls leave school, they come straight home. If my mama ain't home, my mama used to have to walked to the washerette because we didn't have no car or nothing, but it was a washerette down the street from where. If my mom is not home, got out of school, they knew that's what she would be.
Okay. Now that area around by the gas station, was that searched thoroughly and everything too?
No, nothing. That's what I'm telling you. Nothing was
Oh,
searched.
nothing was searched. Period.
No,
Wow. So
nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
And
This.
now they talking
The
about this.
more I hear, it pisses me off even more and more. And I'm pretty sure after they listen to this podcast and they hear the stuff that I'm hearing, because my eyes have got wide like at least 6 7 times, and my mouth has dropped a couple times. I'm pretty sure when they hear the podcast, they'll be saying the same thing that I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like how?
I they didn't do nothing. I say nothing, nothing. They didn't do
This
an investigation. It was an investigation done. Period.
this is sad on so many
And now
levels.
that they talking about this, okay, if any of them listen to the documentary, it's a gentleman that's in prison that's saying that my sister Nim was murdered by some guys at my sister Nim dad house and all that stuff. Okay, when they heard about that, they been okay. The documentary aired in 2019, right?
Yes.
The stuff that this man is saying, they been had got that letter that was written in 2017. In the documentary, they trying to make it seem like that they just finding knew what was going on, and they never did go try to look and see what was going on out. No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And when the people, because the people was pissed, the people who recorded and did the documentary, they was mad. You hear me? They was so mad. They went to him and was like, I just don't understand. You're the sheriff. Why you in? And you'll see him in the documentary. He gets up and walk out.
Amazing.
Okay, when he walked off in the doc, they was trying to get on him to try to find out. He been knew about this letter, but they never tried to go and invest. You get what I'm saying? And now that when they find out about it, the people who did try to go was, you'll see the two people that's in there that's doing the investigation in the documentary. All of us went over here to it's called the Brickyard Pond. Brickyard Pond, and then Lovers Lane, and I think it's Molly Pond Road. Now back in the day, people would be murdered and thrown in those.
Okay.
And it was a guy by the name of Joseph Patrick Washington. He would murder women. He would assault. He would shoot them, assault them. You know what I'm saying? Some of them would make it. Some, you know what I'm saying? He was called the serial killer down here, which we had no idea about it until 2017, when, like I said, these people that should have been investigators because they did more than the police department ever done.
Hey,
And
that says a lot.
yeah, so nobody's never went over here to search it, and they saying they're not going to search because they find the prison story not credible. Pretty much saying that he pretty much made the whole thing up because he wanted to compensate something from it.
That it sounds. I don't know. I
But
saw it.
but then turns around and tells my mom. They told my mom they wasn't gonna do no investigation no more after they found his story to be incredible and with however you pronounce it. They wasn't gonna do an investigation. And I called them and I asked them why. I said, y'all got my mom crying. Y'all got her upset because she thinking she getting somewhere. And now y'all telling her y'all not going to do an investigation what's going on. And that's when they told me that pretty much the story he made, the whole thing, it wasn't true. But then again, they told me it was true. It just wasn't my sister.
And they don't really know because they didn't investigate.
Exactly.
this is strange. The whole
Yeah.
story is strange.
Very, 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 very.
This is one of the, I think this is one of the longest cases of people missing because there's another case like your sister's. It's a girl. She went missing from Willingboro, New Jersey in 1996. She was 12 years old and pregnant. She hasn't been seen
Mhm.
since this day either. They swear she left. They swear she left too. And it's so many cases out here like that, but they tend to involve African American children. They just label as runaways.
Yeah,
And a
they
lot of
do.
times, it don't matter if
And
we,
and
no
it's
matter if we,
crazy you said that because the investigator that was investigating my sister and them case, he said the same thing. He pretty much said he don't know why him over Miss people's cases. He said he kind of figured they did it because he didn't have kids that he can go home to kill. And he
wow,
said pretty much all they did was run away from home. They go get them, bring them back home, and they go run away again.
right? That's not every kid. Every kid doesn't do the same thing.
It
That's
was a
that's
little girl down here. Her name was Tiffany Nelson. She went missing from the station, just like my sister now. In '94, and the same investigator was over my sister and them case was over hers. I He said had that guy been working up under his wing, he would have been fired him because not only did he do my sister and them case the way he did it, he did hers like that too. She was 9 years old when she went missing.
you never found her.
They end up finding her, but like I'm saying, she was 9 years old when she went missing. He didn't rule her case as a abduction until 11 days after she went missing.
Mm. So
He's
it's
also he also said she ran away from home too at 9.
mm. So
They ended up finding her 10 years later in a shallow grave over here in Augusta off of Highway 56.
wow.
And still to this day, they still don't know who murdered her.
And what's her name?
Her name was Tiffany Nelson.
I have to look it up. I have to post that. I tend to go after a lot of the lesser known cases, the cases that are not in the spotlight. And
Mm-hmm.
when we're discussing your sister's case on there, and I was like, I ain't gonna stop until this like reaches a lot of people because people need to hear this story, and these sheriffs and these police they need to be outed seriously because this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is really
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is
Some mom that they got a heart and that care because they got kids, and then you got some that pretty much like they really don't care if they solve it or not. I mean, that's just my opinion. They might do care, but from the experience that we have had, I don't see as all of them cared because if they had them, they would have did it back then.
You're right, and you're right. They should have. You're right. They would have did what they did because it. We're talking about 30 years later. This case should not be going on 30 years later.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It
I
should not
wish
be going.
you know what I'm saying. I always pray. I pray every day. I pray every day. I pray all the time. You know, my mom, my grandmother done passed away. My uncles, everybody just passing away, and everybody still out here trying. The ones that's living before my grandmother and them passed away, everybody's still trying to figure out what happened. They told us never to give up, and I didn't. My mom never gave up. I just feel I need to be her voice because she hurt. You get what I'm
Right,
saying? She's hurt
right.
her children. These are my sisters, so I feel it was my duty and my obligation because I want to know what happened to them. I want to know where they at. I want to know if they're alive. I want to know, what I'm saying, if they got kids or they married. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know if they're breathing.
Right.
And my mom want to know the same. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this all this time because it's so much happening out here in the world. I want my mom, when my mom get ready to leave this world, I want her to be able to be at peace,
To know what happened.
knowing that she know what happened to her daughters. That's the hardest thing that you can go through life, because it make you think you know you going on, you work, you have to go out here and tend to your other kids, you know what I'm saying? You have everyday life stuff to do, and you don't want your daughters to think that you forgot about them. You get what I'm saying? And that's what she don't want to happen. She don't want them to think that she forgot about them, and she didn't. Right. She just didn't have nobody to help her find them.
Yeah, I seen her on one of the YouTube videos. I can just look at her. I know it hurts her heart. I know it hurts her heart. I know it happened for the last 30 years. I know it's been hard to live, and like you said, take care of the others. Still got other children. Still got to take care of them.
Yeah, you got other, you know what I'm saying? You got every day, and that affects, not only affects her, that affects her mind mentality, when it come down to us, when it come down to her grandkids, when it come down to her great grandkids. You just don't know if they gonna walk out the door and you don't see them no more. You get what I'm saying? I don't get murdered and stuff like that. They just haven't found nothing about my sister and them, nothing. They end up finding it, you know what I'm saying? I pray for all those people, you know what I'm saying? They have missing people out here, but it's like, what it does something to your mind frame when stuff like that happen to other people, because you know what you're going through.
It definitely does. Myself, I've had two brothers murdered within 4 years apart. That's why I started my platform, and then some people from my hometown had went missing, and I got involved probably like 7 years ago, and I just wanted to use my platform to help people out. And my platform, when I first started off, I think I probably had 200 followers. I got almost 25,000 followers now, so I have a great following, and a lot of the information really gets put out there, and people really tune in and they engage and they share the stories. So they've been sharing this story a lot, and they've been like glued to it.
I wish it was something that I could tell them, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to them girls. I really do not. I wish I did. I wish I knew. Oh, God knows, I wish I knew. I tried. That's why I try to stay active. I watch the news. I always read the newspaper, throughout the years. I'm a little girl reading the newspaper because I want to know. I don't want to miss nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I was too. I read the paper too a lot. That's how I was. I read the paper a lot.
And my friends used to be like, "Why you watch the news? We look here because." Some people didn't know, what was going on, because I'm a quiet person. I really don't talk unless you talk to me. You get what I'm saying? And it's like your mind frame, because you got to walk in stores and you got to walk past people and you be like, dog, it's been all these years. What if I don't walk past them? Or, you know what I'm saying? It messes with you. Then I be like, why we can't go outside, or why we can't do this, or why we can't do that? And they know the story, you know what I'm saying? They know my sister and whatever, but we're in a new time, and they want to hang out with their friends, they want to do this, but my mind's still stuck in 1990, because I don't know if I'm gonna let them go somewhere no more, they'll never find them. It messes with your mind mentality. I'm telling you, it does.
No,
and people, some people, they go on with everyday life, but people go through things and people don't never know unless you tell them. You get what I'm saying? And some people just it's crazy, but it's life, you know what I'm saying? We still praying. We ain't gonna give up. We love them, you know what I'm saying? I think about them all the time. I try to stay active, keep their name out there. That's why I got their Facebook page up. I don't post on it because I have my own kids and I have to and stuff like that.
Right.
I just graduated.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I just
I
graduated
don't,
from.
sometimes I don't know how to do that. I mean, I make it do it. So, you know, I definitely enjoy this. You know, we come back from part, have an update. We'll have an update on Dannette and Jeannette. You know, hopefully, there, like there will be some answers.
I hope so. I'm gonna tell you, about 2 weeks ago, I had a dream. I never really dreamed about. I haven't dreamed about them in a long, long time. I dreamed about them once since they had been missing. But this would be the second dream that I had. And the dream I had that they had been found after 35 years. And it's only 32 years right now.
Okay, it had went out. Okay, it went back in. So is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Just keep us in y'all prayers, and you know, if you see anything about them, try to share it. And if anybody hear anything, they can reach out. Don't know, but reach out to the Augusta Richmond County Sheriff's Department. I think the number is 706-821-1080. I don't know the tip hotline that's on the billboard. I don't know the number offhand, but I think I got a post up on their Facebook page with it on there though.
Okay,
they Facebook out Jeannette and Dannette Milbrook.
Okay, I'll be sharing that, and I'll also be sharing that you know the GoFundMe for the reward money to try to get people to add to it.
Dollar reward out.
Yeah. Yeah, I thank you so much for taking your time out to share this story. I'm blown away, and I definitely will be sharing it more. Like I said, hopefully one day we come back for a part two, and we have some closure to the story.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, you have a good.
All right, you too.
Okay.
Bye bye.